Hi guys, welcome to Note Taking Mondays with Miss Albright. The first thing we're going to do today is make a foldable for our notes. So you need just a regular blank white sheet of paper. And we're going to fold this piece of paper in half like a hot dog. And then we're going to fold it into 3 equal sections so that we can have room to use and write about our 3 subatomic particles. So when you open that back up, you should have 3 different sections. I do like to section mine off so that I know where I am writing on the outside. Now, looking at our first subatomic particle, we're going to use this first flap here. We're going to label it protons. Our next flap over here, we're going to label it electrons. And our last flap over here, we're going to label it neutrons. So we're looking at PN, which is protons, neutrons, and electrons. And we're going to put some more really important information on the outside so we can easily access and remember what our protons are about. Our protons are positive, and that means they have a positive charge. Our electrons are negative, and that means they have a negative charge. And our neutrons do not have any charge. They are called neutral. Now, we can easily access the information about these protons, electrons, and neutrons by using the periodic table. Our protons are our atomic number. Our electrons are also the atomic number. And our neutrons are going to be calculated by using the atomic number and subtracting it from the atomic mass, or our atomic mass subtracted from the atomic number. So that atomic mass minus your atomic number is how we're going to get our number of neutrons. And we have to calculate those by subtraction. Now go ahead and open up your foldable. And when you open up your foldable, we're going to start with our notations on protons. Now I also like to section off my inside part as well, so that I have a nice good. So section off our last part here. So we're on the inside of this lovely foldable. And we're going to start, like we said, with our protons. And when we look at our protons, there are 4 key pieces of information that we need to know about them. Now, when we do our foldables, we will always put our pictures at the top and our information at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my diagram for each one of these. And the diagram for each one will look the same, and we will label and point out the information about the subatomic particle we're discussing. So the first piece of key information for a proton is that protons are positive. Now, with protons being positive, they can also be found in our nucleus. The nucleus is the center part of our atom and where the mass can be found for the atom. So our protons are found in the nucleus. They have a mass because they help make up the mass of the atom, and they have a mass of 1 AMU. AMU stands for atomic mass unit. Now, with them being positive, being able to be found in the nucleus, having 1 AMU, the last piece of key information is that they are the same as the electrons. So they have the same number as the electrons. When we look at the periodic table. Now, with this pieces of information, we can easily point out which one of these subatomic particles is our proton, knowing that it's positive, found in the nucleus, has 1 AMU, and is the same as the electrons. This is going to be our proton. Now looking at your next one, we're going to go right along to the electrons. And we have 4 key pieces of information about the electrons as well. The first thing we want to notate about electrons is that they are negative. Negative meaning that they have a negative charge. And with them being a negative charge, they don't get to be inside of the nucleus. They have to chill out on the outside of the nucleus. So we say that they are found in the electron cloud. Now, this is an easier one to remember. Electrons are found in the electron cloud. So their name and their location help you figure out where they belong. Now, along with them being in the electron cloud, just like any other cloud, they're able to float around. They have no mass. Their mass is 0 AMU. And again, AMU stands for atomic mass unit. And that's why they're able to float around, because they are very light. They have no mass. Now, with them being no mass and found in the electron cloud and negative, they're going to be the same as our protons. So they will have the same amount as the protons. So if your number for protons is 10, then your number for electrons is also 10. Now with this information, we can go ahead and label our diagram and figure out which subatomic particle we're referring to. These are negative, found in the electron cloud. So this is the electron over here. Again, we're going to put a little negative symbol next to that. And looking at these 3 subatomic particles, this is my nucleus on the inside. This is the cloud. This is where electrons will be found. Our last subatomic particle is called a neutron. And there are 4 key points about a neutron as well. We can remember from the front of our paper that these are going to have to be calculated by subtraction. But before we get to that, let's get to our key points of information. Neutrons are neutral. That means they have no charge. Whereas our protons are positive, our electrons are negative. These guys have no charge. They just add to the mass. They don't have any charge. So with them adding to the mass, we always know that our mass is found inside the nucleus. So these are going to be found inside the nucleus. So they are found inside the nucleus along with our protons. And these 2 things come together to help us make up the mass of the atom. Now, since they help with the mass, they have a mass of 1 AMU. And so this 1 AMU and this 1 AMU help make up the mass of that atom. Now, neutrons cannot just be pointed out like the protons and electrons can by using the atomic number. We have to take the 2 numbers from the periodic table, which are the atomic mass, and subtract them from the atomic number. So we can calculate by subtracting the atomic mass from the atomic number. Now, we have to label our neutron. And using our notations, these 4 key points, if neutrons have no charge, but they are also found in the nucleus, that's our key that this is our neutron. So here are your notes. Make sure you have everything written down. Protons positive, found in the nucleus, 1 AMU, same number as the electrons. Our electrons are negative, found in the cloud, have no mass, and are the same as the protons. Our neutrons are neutral, meaning they have no charge, found in the nucleus. They add to the mass, and they have 1 AMU. And you can calculate the neutrons by subtracting your atomic mass from your atomic number. I hope you enjoyed your foldable notes. Make sure you hold on to these and take a screenshot.